Okay, so I will continue with the aperture assembly and actually have a look inside how it works and how you can get into if there is well, oil on the plates, so it will not work like those. This is how it actually works. Um, and if we turn it around, you can see what's happened here. This is the cam over here, I think it's called. So if I move the aperture ring, you can see what's happened. The aperture will open and the cam will change position from, fully closed as much as it can. And then I move the ring here so we can see what's happened. And then it's full open. And if you by accident actually, when you work with the aperture here, come to, okay, it came over. Well, it cannot go back. Well, it can. And if you, when you have sampled they put the aperture into the actual housing here, you can with a pin or screwdriver, we can just show it here. You can simply lift up this part here. You cannot come until it on the back. So you have to lift up here, and at the same time, as much as you can, then you can move the cam back again so it's in correct place. Just so we have that clear, that's the stop. And the other on the other side, there is the aperture pin connection from the camera actually on the back here. So this pin is actually connecting to here. Can we see how it will work? So if we look, well, we put this in here, and now the aperture is fully closed. So when you activate the camera, it will press on this lever here. If I can get it to work. Aha, you see, it cannot work because this one has to sit on the other side. That's why it is very important when you put the mount here in, you simply set it to over there. It's in the lock position because when I put it on here, it will not interfere with the pin here. So when I release this pin here, poof, it will simply press on the aperture pin, especially if we have it this way. So it will you'll press against the lever here, and then you can, on the other hand, maybe I know it's difficult, we can turn it around. So if I it's a bit difficult actually to show what's going on. But you can see how it works. So I will come into the mount sooner in the next video. But let's jump into the aperture itself. If there was oil on the plates, we begin with a little scratch, as usual, because the holes here, here, and here are bigger. So when you will put it back in again, it has to sit correct. So we simply begin with set a mark here, both on the plate here, but also here on the side, so they will sit in line. Now, then we can actually take it apart, and we can take the whole aperture assembly out, because it's held together by 1, 2, 3 screw, and you cannot have them on the other side. It's inside here. When I take this off, I can come further into it. We'll show it. Now I will take the tension away for the aperture spring, and with a little homemade tool, it's a dentist tool, it makes things so much easier. Yeah, I think it's better to take it over here. There are more space, so I can just, this is a little hook, a tiny hook made with my Dremel, my Proxen tool. So I can just grab the very end and lift it up, so it's free. Now I can take out the 3 screws, remember the mark, and just unscrew it. The screws are quite tight, small, and you can see the holes are quite big if you look at how the size of the screw. That's why it is important to set a mark. See, the holes here are quite big if we look at the screw. That's why, and we can just see it with the last screw. I can actually turn it. So if the aperture is not correct, it will probably out of alignment. So it can go to one side or the other. Just remember your mark is your only reference. So out with that. And next thing is I can flip it over and also move this ring away. Well, it doesn't really matter, but I can simply pop the aperture assembly just in my hand, because nothing will happen. This is how it looks. This little pin here, this little pin here goes into this gap here. So you see it moves. When this one moves, well, if we can get it to work here again. So when this pin moves, it will actually push on this gap here. But the spring that makes the tension against it, it will just push it back again. Hold it back to that. So it will always be closed, but when I move this, the aperture ring, it will simply open it more and more. So let's have a look. Remember, before you take those 3 screws out, take the tension away, lift off the spring on this pin, because if you do not, well, you will have blades all over the place, and you will put it back in. There's no adjustment here, so because the screws here are countersunk, so I can just take it out. They are quite small. There is no oil on the blades in the aperture assembly here, So I will not take off I will not fully disassemble the aperture, but just to show you how it looks. You see, the plate here will be quite loose. It's quite flat, but when I lift it up here, you can see the whole system. And this place has to sit like this. And here we can see the aperture assembly, how it moves inside. Amazing technique. So you can see it's not a big problem to actually put the plates on again. Just have to put them well in the correct order. And you can see there's, I mean, 2 pins on each plate. So the outer ring that moves will just push on the plates, and the plates, yeah, they will just move. And remember how it sits. I mean, it can actually only sit in one way. It's not possible to put it in a different way than it is meant to. So I will just put it back in again, the plate here, and we have to have it. You see there are 2 screw holes, but only 1 thread in here. That's for the small countersunk screw. So we can just do this. So, and maybe it's good to have a stand or something to put it on. I should have loaded my screwdriver with 1 screw before I took it apart, but it's not a problem. So something like that. So, and yeah, that's actually all about the aperture assembly itself. But I was thinking, what about the back lens? But I came to the conclusion there's nothing wrong with the lens element in this lens, in my lens here. So I will just show how, I mean, I found out the back lens here is okay, no problem. But how do you actually access it? Well, you see there are, you probably can see, hopefully, with help from a torch. So there are retaining ring down here with 2 notches. And I think it holds the lens in place. But I would think, okay, if I take this tube off, I should use a lot of isopropyl alcohol. And it will be on the thread here, which it takes a lot of isopropyl alcohol to loosen, to get it to loosen. So, and it came loose, and I think it will be, it's quite tight. So I will use 2 rubber cones. It will say number 6. Just to show you how it is. I will not take it apart. Just show you how you can come into, take off the tube here. So I use number 4 and number 6, and then just have it there it will be a good grip, and it sits extremely tight. It was even tighter when I at first took it out. And this is how it looks inside. And you can, of course, if you want to do something else with this this aperture ring, if it's loose, I mean if it's too tight, but I'm not sure if there is any ball bearing. It runs really easy. So yeah, and if you want to go deeper into the lens, the back lens, you can just unscrew this retaining ring in here. And you probably have to use isopropyl alcohol to go into here and soften the thread lock. But it will not be for now, because this lens element is quite good. So I'll just put it back in again and say that's all fine. And you have to screw it all the way in and tighten it good. So, and then I can just put the aperture assembly in again. See the pin here? It will go, this pin will go into here. And the other one will just be connected. So let's see. So, and you can see it's fully open. Oh, again, that was amazing. Oh, of course. There's no spring, of course, to make the tension against the blah. Now, it is correct. So, and since I have my mark here, I know exactly where it should sit. So I can just assemble it again. Don't tighten the screws yet. So just so we have all 3 screws in. So, and make sure the mark is sitting correct. Now it sits where it should. And then tighten the screws. Not too much, it's aluminium. So, that's all fine. And this is also, I only need to put the spring back on again. And with this little tool, it's so much easier. So, very easy. And then the aperture is, let's say, back to normal. And it's all fine. And it also works here. Like we can see, it moves as it should. So that's it. Next video will be about the mount, because I think it will be fine to actually take a look at that. So see you sooner.